Are you thinking about studying abroad? We will tell you how terrorism may affect plans for studying away.
Students are eager to hear if they'll be lucky with the housing lottery.
We will also tell you if Furman decided to put out tobacco used on campus.
And we'll see how some students are earning their last CLPs. These stories and more coming up on the Nightly News.
The following program is produced by students in the Department of Communication Studies at Furman University.
I'm Olivia Johnson.
And I'm Meredith Behrens, bringing you the Nightly News. Hostile conditions in Europe are causing study abroad programs to reconsider their plans. Amy Beard reports.
Ringer Center for Study Away and International Education recently decided to reassign a May X planned for Turkey due to security threats. In the past few months, bomb attacks have been carried out in Ankara and Istanbul by both ISIS and the Kurdish military wing, and southeastern Turkey has been a hotbed for violent clashes. The U.S. Embassy recently elected to withdraw military families from the area.
So that was a fairly, as I said, a fairly severe warning. It was picked up by the news media, and then parents began seeing it, and this made the parents, or a number of the parents, a little concerned about letting their kids go to Turkey. And some of the students were also a little bit nervous. And so given the total picture, we thought it was better to go with our backup program since we had one.
That backup plan is a religion and art trip to Italy and Sicily. Dr. Stulting, who usually leads the Turkey experience, plans to head up the replacement trip as well.
Sicily, so we thought that we could live with that. We were disappointed, of course, but I think we'll be happy with our backup program.
In light of the recent events, senior Hannah Mackey, who studied abroad on the Brussels program, understands the importance of safety precautions while traveling in Europe.
Also, I was supposed to go on the Turkey trip, and that also has just had some serious safety problems too, with ISIS and with the Kurds. And it's really unfortunate that that trip also had to get changed. I'm really excited to go to Italy, really pumped about that, but at the same time, it's really unfortunate that the current situation in Europe and in Turkey has prohibited and limited people's experience to go to these countries.
The Office of Study Away has considered replacing Turkey with southern Spain in the upcoming 2017 religion trip through the Eastern Mediterranean. This is Amy Beard reporting for the Nightly News.
The Furman administration and faculty had a recent vote on banning tobacco use on campus. PJ Fitzgerald reports.
Furman administration and faculty voted on a motion to turn Furman into a tobacco-free campus. This motion was lost by 7 votes, but faculty members and students still have strong opinions on this issue.
And so I think providing a tobacco-free campus does 2 things. One, it helps avoid students getting on an unhealthy path. And then most adults who do smoke would probably tell you they wish they didn't.
Students have come up with new ideas to allow members of the Furman community to have the freedom to smoke on campus without affecting others.
I think that tobacco is kind of someone's personal choice if they would like to do it or not. I don't think Furman should ban it on campus. I think they should make zones where it's acceptable and where it's not.
As well as cigarettes, smokeless-free tobacco is also a concern on Furman's campus. According to a poll by Livestrong, among college-age Americans in 2012, 31.8% used cigarettes, 10.7% used cigars, 5.5% used smokeless tobacco, and 1.8% used pipe tobacco. This shows that this is an issue among young people in America.
There are 1,600 universities around the country that have actually banned smoking and tobacco use on campus. And it would be nice if Furman could join that. It seems to me that it makes us look a little backwards when tons of schools across the country prohibit tobacco use, but we still allow it.
This remains a controversial topic, but we will see if the Furman administration will vote on this matter in the near future. For the Nightly News, I'm PJ Fitzgerald.
A dance festival for the Upstate was held at McAllister Auditorium, showcasing our very own Furman Dance Company.
Students gathered to cheer on their favorite dancers as they strutted across the stage. Here's Lindsay Dennis with our activities segment.
Thanks, Olivia and Meredith. Think you can dance? Maybe not, but the performers at the annual Dance Spectacular can. Hannah Catherine Smith reports.
The Furman University Dance Company dazzled in McAllister Auditorium on Thursday evening.
So tonight is the annual Dance Spectacular end of the year show for the Furman Dance Company. We're going to perform all of the routines that we've done throughout the year. We got a little football game dances, some basketball game dances, and some new ones.
Dance styles like jazz, hip-hop, contemporary, modern, classical ballet, tap, and others were featured.
Our biggest goal is just making sure that we provide that entertainment as well as kind of performing to the best of our ability. This team works so hard, and I think what we want is to put on a really good show and to show the community and everybody that comes that's in the audience what we do, and so that they might be able to appreciate it in a new, different kind of way.
Furman students also delighted in the fact that this entertaining evening doubled as a CLP.
The proceeds from tonight's performance will go to benefit the Furman Dance Company throughout the year. I'm Hannah Catherine reporting for the Nightly News. What CLP allows you to have free snacks and wine? Samantha Eccles reports.
On April 5th, the Furman Art Department hosted a gallery called Clear Cut Spaces, which featured works by Armin Moussam. But the beautiful artwork wasn't the only thing bringing in such a crowd. The opportunity for CLP credit, snacks, and drinks helped pull in many students.
And I think theater and music do this as well. So they'll open up some of their performances and so forth for CLPs. And I think that a lot of students are apprehensive about engaging in art. They think it's a little intimidating, they might not get it. And so having CLPs allow them to have access to it. And we keep the programming pretty short for our part. We give the talks maybe 15, 20 minutes, Q&A, and we try to make it as less intimidating as possible. And then, of course, having the wine, it does help, doesn't it?
Students who are 21 and older and bring their IDs are able to drink free red or white wine, but students from all ages are able to snack on the many cheeses, spinach dips, and crackers that the art department supplies. There are about 3 to 4 art shows a semester, supplying many CLP opportunities for students.
I really like having art exhibitions as CLPs because it brings people into the art building that would not normally come, and they get the chance to be exposed to some work which facilitates thoughts that they may not think about normally. So I think it's overall positive. And there's wine and appetizers, which never hurts.
I've never been to an actual art show before, but since I get CLP credit for this, I thought it'd be a fun experience.
The artist spends approximately 20 minutes discussing their works and then allows for a Q&A at the end.
The next art CLP is April 12th at 6 p.m. in the Rowe Art Building. This is Samantha Eccles signing off for the Nightly News.
That's all for activities. Back to you, Meredith.
Student tensions during the final weeks of the spring semester are always high, but not just because exam week is quickly approaching. The housing lottery is known to create a stir around campus as well. Mallory Fitzgerald reports.
Because of Furman's policy that requires students to live on campus all 4 years, there is always controversy surrounding the housing lottery process.
My Furman housing lottery experience was not the best. My freshman year, I got placed in Blackwell,
which was a pretty unfortunate situation. But I was really looking forward to living in the apartments my junior year, and that turned out to be not an ideal situation either. We got placed in a dorm to start with and didn't find out that we had an apartment until August, and on top of that it was double bedrooms, so I can't say I've had the best experience with the lottery.
I always found the lottery process to be kind of confusing, and like last year, my sophomore year, my roommate and I applied for the lottery, and then we got some email apparently that said we needed to redo it or apply again, and we didn't do that, so then we essentially weren't even considered in the lottery. We wound up getting an apartment in North Village for that year, so it wound up being pretty cool for us.
Some students have had a more positive experience with the housing lottery process.
I actually had a generally pretty good experience with the housing lottery. I was placed in I and G my junior and senior years, but I also was living with a senior as a junior, and I think that definitely had some pull in me getting into one of the buildings I would like to be in, because I do know it's very difficult for juniors to get the apartments they're interested in.
In the end, the Furman housing staff does their best to fairly accommodate each student.
As we start the housing lottery every year, we know that everybody who participates needs to have an assignment for the next year. And for us, the only thing that really matters is that we're able to give them an assignment, ideally as close to where they want to be, with whom they want to be as we can. And so we go through that process in a way that strips away all variables other than who they are and what class they are.
With the numerous improvements Furman has been making this school year, students can expect to see an improvement in housing soon. This is Mallory Fitzgerald reporting for the Nightly News.
Coming up in sports, women's lacrosse battled Detroit on Sunday.
And Furman students show support for student athletes on campus. Here's Connor Chatterton with our sports segment.
Thanks, Meredith. The women's lacrosse team showed no mercy against the Detroit Titans in their second conference game of the season. Kendall Hawthorne reports.
The Furman Paladins faced the Detroit Mercy Titans in a nail-biting conference game. The Titans are one of the strongest teams in the Southern Conference, but the Paladins were ready to show how strong their program has become in just 2 short years.
Paladin goal, number 14, Paige Gamble.
The teams were tied most of the first quarter, but the Paladins pulled ahead at the half and held the lead, winning 14-12.
We wanted to make sure we played a solid game throughout the whole time. We didn't want to have too many ebbs and flows because they're a really good team. We really wanted to play really good solid defense because they have a lot of left-handed people and we don't have many lefties, so it's a different game.
The Paladins' strategy going into the game was a cohesive defense. The Titans are known for having fast breaks and quick releases, as well as an aggressive offense, but the girls were ready for the challenge.
I'm so awesome, oh God, and you think I'm awesome, Jackers wanted me.
Today, something cool that they said make like memories on the field that you'll be able to like talk to each other about when you see each other like randomly in the grocery store like in a whole bunch of years. So I think that's kind of fun. It's really motivational and like gets you together as a team and as like friends inside and out of lacrosse.
Camaraderie is an integral part of the Furman lacrosse program. There was a large showing of the men's lacrosse team at the game, which always helps the girls feel like they have the home field advantage. The next conference game for the Paladins is on April 22nd against Jacksonville, and they're expecting another win. I'm here at Paladin Stadium, where the women's lacrosse team is currently in a tight battle against the Detroit Titans. The women's lacrosse team currently has a record of 7-5 and hopes to keep this winning record throughout conference play. This is Kendall Hawthorne reporting for the Nightly News.
Ashley Trice for the Paladins.
Furman University celebrated National Student Athlete Day for the first time on April 6th. Paige Gamble reports.
Furman's Student Athlete Advisory Committee hosted the first National Student Athlete Day. This was a way to celebrate the student athletes' hard work that they have put in all year by bringing teams together and showing support for one another. At the event, free food was given out to Furman students, along with door prizes and raffles.
National Student Athlete Day is celebrated every year on April 6th, and this year our SAC Board of Directors thought it would be a great way to just recognize all the hard effort that our student athletes put in all year, and because of them we get to come out and celebrate as the Furman community at a fun softball and baseball game.
On National Student Athlete Day, baseball and softball both hosted home games, which drew in a lot of fans. Student athletes enjoyed coming out to support one another and seeing other teams' hard work pay off.
I like Student Athlete Day a lot because I feel like a lot of times teams will stick to themselves. The soccer team will kind of hang out with the soccer team, baseball with baseball, but Student Athlete Day gets everyone to come together, have some food, like enjoy each other's company and support other teams who are playing.
As a member of SAC, we organized the Student Athlete Day to kind of create an atmosphere where we all brought together and celebrate our games.
Check out FurmanPaladins.com to get the schedule for all our sports games. This is Paige Gamble signing off for the Nightly News.
And finally, congratulations to the Lady Paladins golf team on their second straight SoCon championship. That wraps up Furman Sports this week. Back to you, Olivia.
The Furman community wrapped up Earth Week with the annual water walk. Amy Poon reports.
This weekend, Furman hosted its 5th annual water walk. Members of the university and Greenville community walked around the Furman Lake carrying buckets of water to raise money for Water Mission.
The mission for Water Mission is to develop sustainable projects that really give people an access to safe, potable drinking water, but also really build and invest in a relationship where they feel that they are part of something bigger than themselves.
An average African family uses about 5 gallons of water each day. Some women and children walk up to 6 miles every day for water.
We're incredibly fortunate to be able to just turn on the sink and drink out of it and know that it's not going to make us sick, compared to in developing countries where some people are constantly sick from the water they drink or have to go get water from the ground and figure out how to get that clean enough where it's not going to make them sick, which most of the time doesn't happen.
50% of hospital beds are filled with people sick from dirty water.
Significantly. It's crazy to think that there's, a lot of people out there who actually have to go such lengths just to get clean water, and it's something we definitely take for granted here.
Over 1.8 billion people lack access to safe water around the world. Visit watermission.org to see how you can help. This is Amy Poon reporting for the Nightly News.
That's all the Furman news we have for you this year.
Join us at Furman Broadcast on YouTube to keep up with Furman's nightly news.
Have a wonderful summer, everyone.